What's going on, everybody? Um, Today, I just wanted to go live just to discuss, some charts, maybe the HEX price, Hedron. I've been looking at Hedron, and um, the chart is starting to look pretty good. It's starting to look like we could possibly be getting to some buying levels, and I just wanted to take a look at it with you guys. Also, check out the HEX chart and go over the ongoing sacrifices that's going on in the space right now. But another thing is, I think I'm going to start doing these live streams at least, once a week, on the weekends, and try to make it a consistent thing to, get involved with the community and try to get engaged with you guys and just try to build some good relationships and actually build a solid community so we can be here to support one another and just have fun doing it. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to drop them down in the chat. I do have some stuff planned, and we're going to go over those things. But like I said, if you guys have any questions or just want to discuss anything that I'm not talking about, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will go over them. Let me start sharing my screen here and pull it up. So right here, of course, this is the HEX chart, and if we zoom out a little bit, and this is on the 4-hour, oh no, sorry, this is on the daily. You can see here I have drawn. We're kind of in a fallen wedge pattern, and we had this major support here around 12 cent, and I was hoping we could hold that and not. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry, let me turn my phone on silent. But what I was saying is, I was hoping that we could hold this support right here and not have to drop below it. But as you see, we did drop below it. But if we zoom in, this trend line that I have going down with the fallen wedge, the downwards trend line, it has bounced off of this several times. And if we zoom in real close here, you can see there's a wick right on the bottom of it, and it bounced perfectly. I mean, it couldn't have got any more perfect off that trend line. And I think, we might, get a little reversal right here, but, be aware, because as soon as we come back up to this 12 cent mark, I think there's going to be some pretty heavy resistance there. There's going to be some pretty heavy resistance waiting on us at about 12 cent. There's going to be a sell wall. But in my opinion, this, as I was saying, this fallen wedge that we're in, it's held as some pretty strong support. And these fallen wedges tend, not 100% of the time, but these fallen wedges tend to break to the upside. And if we get a scheduled move of that, or an estimated move of about how far, whoops, hold on a second. If we get an estimated move, if we do happen to break out of this fallen wedge, depending on where we break out from, say if we break out maybe here, the estimated target would be about 26 cent. Definitely expect some, resistance on the way up, because nothing goes up in a straight line, of course. But that would be a good target to have. I would definitely, if you do see us starting to break out around here, you can also see this real heavy support at about 22 cent. Just be ready for that. If you are trying to, get out of a little bit and, if you're trying to sell a little bit of liquid hex, I would, maybe front run that a little bit if that's what you're trying to do. In my opinion, right now with the phase we're in, this is definitely a very good buying opportunity and, accumulation phase for the launch of Pulse Chain. Because, as you know, well, if you don't know, if you're new and you haven't heard, you're going to get a copy of everything, all your hex, all your stakes, all your ERC20s on the Pulse Chain. So with these low prices that's coming in, guys, it's a very, it's a very good buying opportunity. I know the sentiment's down right now, and the markets are pretty negative and bearish. But if you get out of that short term mindset, start thinking long term. These are some definitely good prices to start accumulating at. But there's always that possibility of going lower. And if we do break this downwards trend line of this falling wedge, I really think we could come back down to about 7.5 cents right here. This was the next big support that I see on the chart. And that would be an 85% correction from the top here. So if we do go down to about 7.5 cents, that will fulfill the 85% correction, which that we see most cryptos do in a bear market. And in my opinion, we are in a bear market. Everybody has their opinion. We go in seasons. I hear some people talk about it seasons because there's so much more money in the market now than there used to be. And, that's very true. That's very true. And it's very possible that that crypto starts doing shorter bear markets because there is a lot more money in the space, and there is, a lot more diamond hands, if you should say. And, but just expect, I kind of, if you want my opinion, I kind of suspect some kind of black swan event with everything going on in the world right now, especially in Bitcoin. If we, let's click over to Bitcoin here. If we look at Bitcoin's chart, guys, it just can't make up its mind. It's in a very weird range right now. We had that initial pump with, the Russian news and stuff like that, and then an immediate correction. So, and that's typically what we do in a bear market is, whether try to be a relief rally, and then it just can't get there, and it just falls back down. And you can see it tried again, can't get there, hit about 45,000, and then came right back down to under 40. So, just be careful in the markets right now, guys. It's very, wishy-washy. But now is the time. Now is the time to definitely, if you have, projects that you're interested in, if you have projects that, you want to DCA into and you think they're going to do good in the future, definitely, now's the time to start looking at them. Yes, they could go a bit lower. They could always go a bit lower. But you don't want to be the one standing there when it finally does pump and you're not on the train, because that's a very bad feeling, and you can miss out on some pretty sweet gains. But another thing I wanted to talk about is if we click over to Hedron, I've been keeping a close eye on this chart because it's doing some interesting stuff. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, since it's everybody's just free claiming, and if they don't believe in the project, they're just straight dumping it. But guys, if you want, in my opinion, this is where money is made. When you see a project launch and it's at the ground floor stuff. I mean, yeah, you could have bought it lower down here, but it's pretty bottomed out. And yes, it could go lower because people are going to dump their their free claims and stuff like that. But I got a range right here set up, and if it goes into this range, this is going to be the buying range for me. 100%. If I got a alert right here, if it does dip below this support at any time, that's definitely when I'm going to plan on scooping some up, because long term this project can really, it has a lot of potential. It's a brilliant idea. It really complements HEX very, very well, and it'll get it makes people, it gives people more incentive to stake the token. Because if something was to happen and you need your money for your stake, you can make it into an NFT and trade it on OpenSea, or when PulseChain goes live, you'll be able to trade it on possibly Mintra. So this is just a good idea, and I love the way they went about their launch with the free claim, not doing a sacrifice. pretty unique, man. Pretty unique. It's got a lot of flack from a lot of people in the space, and a lot of those people were just the Hex maxis and the Richard Hart maxis, which there's nothing wrong with that. By any means, there's nothing wrong with that. But these are the kind of projects we need building to have a successful ecosystem, because it's the best of both worlds. You get your Hex people, and then you can also bring over some NFT people that this might grab their interest. So it's a very good project, very good idea. Just like I said, I'm keeping a close eye on this chart here, because it looks like it's trying to coil up. But like I said, with these 100 days of free claims and stuff like that, there's always a possibility, of it dumping harder. And if it does, this like I said, this range right here is a very good buying opportunity, because if you do want to jump into this project, and full disclosure, I have purchased some Hedron. Right down in here, I purchased some. And this is a project that I'm just going to keep accumulating, because, this might not be a good money maker right now in the here and now with the free claim and stuff that's going on. But long term, as people start taking loans, and, hopefully nobody ever gets liquidated, but it's destined to happen. You're going to have your people that, borrow too much and over leverage and stuff like that. So, and when people get liquidated of their stakes from borrowing Hedron, they go to the liquidation house and get auctioned off. And when they go get auctioned off, the people bidding on that stake has to pay in Hedron. And the Hedron that is paid in for that stake, all of it gets burned. So, it's a very unique system they got set up here. And it's very, like I said, it's going to be a long-term play for sure. This might not make any money, if that's what you're in it for. This might not, be a good money maker for, year, 2 years. But this is where you want to accumulate stuff like this. After they've capitulated like this after a launch, and, you want to get all the flippers out. You want to get the people that don't believe in the project to go ahead and free claim their coins and dump what they're going to dump. And, people like me will be on the bottom down here waiting for them to dump and scooping up every bit that I can, because long term I can see this project doing very, very well, if they stay true and stay honest and don't try anything crazy, which so far I don't see anything like that happening. Everything that all the research that I've done, it looks like a very trustworthy project, and all they're trying to do is better the Hex ecosystem. And I don't see nothing wrong with that, and I'm going to support it 100%. It's an awesome thing that they're doing. But if you guys are just tuning in, I'm just going over today, the Hex chart, some of the sacrifice things going on. If you guys want to talk about anything in particular, please drop them down in the chat, and we'll just see where this thing takes us. I was saying in the beginning that I'm thinking about making this a weekly thing, doing one live stream every week, possibly on the weekends, and just trying to get more involved in the community and try to build relationships with you guys, because I really enjoy doing it. And I just want to try to provide as much value to you guys as I can. But yeah, if y'all are in here, hit that like, share this out, and post some comments down in the chat, and we'll see where this thing goes. But let's see. Let's go over to, let's take a look at the Mintra. And this is the NFT platform that Gerardo is a part of. And if we look here, you can see the sacrifice. They have raised, $9.5 million, which is pretty good. The first few weeks, or the first few days this was going on, it didn't receive that much support. And I was kind of wondering why, and then I seen a lot of the community talking about it, and it's not because they don't support it. It's just because it's very new. It's a very new thing, which I understand. And then, the Godwell made his sacrifice, and, it started picking up a little bit. And I did as well. I also sacrificed for Mintra. I believe it could be a very good project, because the way they're doing it is you can receive your mint tokens and just stake them and never have to really interact with the NFT platform at all. So, they're kind of giving both sides of people what they want. They're giving the NFT people a platform to trade on, and they're giving the coin holders and people that like to stake a place to stake their tokens. So, you know, I definitely took part in this. And I've always been told, or how I learned about doing this is you make an investment in the people. If they're good people and you trust them and you think they're here to do the right thing and make the community a better place. That's how I go about my investments, is I invest into people. And, it hasn't, after when I first got into crypto and learned my lesson doing shit the hard way, um, when I started making this switch and stopped really looking at investing in any new project that I've seen, I just started making an investment into people. And, it's been a pretty good strategy so far. By zero, oh man, I just butchered that name. I know I did. I don't really know what that means. If you want to post it again, sorry, I don't really understand that. But let's take a look at. Let's jump on over to the liquid loan sacrifice. And these guys have been doing an amazing job with outreach, an amazing job being transparent with the community. Their marketing is fantastic. These guys are on YouTube damn near every day, 24/7. Just talking to the community and getting involved with the community. And that's the stuff I like to see. You don't see many projects. And I know they're just trying to promote their project because they're new and stuff like that. But I get a feeling from these guys that they're here because they genuinely care. And the sacrifice totals kind of show that. It kind of shows that the community is pretty supportive of this project. And the way they've done their sacrifice, where you can lock up your coins, it can be a bad thing and it can be a good thing. I'm not saying liquid loans is going to fail. I'm a supporter in liquid loans. I invested into liquid loans. I did a sacrifice, but I have seen instances where people will make an investment in a project and they will have the option to lock up their coins when they invest for a certain amount of time. And then, the project launches, blah, blah, blah. And turns out the project was a flop. It didn't do well at all. At one point, the tokens were worth a lot of money, but their tokens were locked, so they couldn't get access to them. And over time, the project started slipping and slipping and slipping. And by the time that the tokens got unlocked, they were only worth, a fraction of the amount that they could have been worth. So what I did with my sacrifice is I kind of did, how we got the ladder stakes and hex. I kind of did a ladder sacrifice where I have some coming out every month for the whole term, which you can't really, lose there, and you can't really miss out on much. So, that's what I did. It's not financial advice, but I just see that. And you also, for every month that you delay your gratification, you get an extra 6% reward on top of whatever you sacrificed. So that's pretty awesome as well. That's a pretty good function to have for people. But if we scroll down here, we can look at the top sacrificers. And I'm pretty sure this here is the Magic Carpet Ride with a whopping $9 million sacrificed. And I'm pretty sure this here is the Godwell, sacrificing almost $6 million. And if we look, guys, there's only 8,600 wallets that has sacrificed so far, which is pretty interesting. And you can see the supply is over just 1 trillion right now. And we have 15 days, 17 hours, 6 minutes until the sacrifice phase ends. And so let's look down here at the sacrifice USD volume timeline, and it's just been wild, just up and to the right. And this is the breakdown of the USD volume timeline per blockchain network. So you can see, people definitely sacrificing more from the Binance Smart Chain. I'm assuming to avoid all the gas fees and stuff. Binance. I used both chains. I used Ethereum and Binance, but Binance was definitely a little bit cheaper. And let's look here. This is pretty interesting to me, guys. This right here is pretty interesting. This is pretty neck and neck now too. I haven't really looked at it long. Yeah, this is only 1 million less than this. So the majority of people that have sacrificed have locked up the whole term, which is over $17 million in delayed gratification. So there's $17 million of that 44 million that isn't going to hit the market or isn't going to come out until 2 years after the project launches. Which that's crazy, guys. If you think about it, but you gotta understand another thing. You have to understand that with this being the Hex community, and these are the most diamond-handed, platinum-handed people that you could ever do an airdrop to. If you wanted to do an airdrop for your project, there is no better community to airdrop to than the Hex community, because they know the deal. They know how to delay gratification, because they know not every time with a project, but 9 times out of 10, the longer you wait, the better off you're going to be. So this is awesome to see, and that also shows how much support and how much people are behind this project. So that's really cool to see. It makes every chart that I look at, for whether it be liquid loans, PulseX, Pulse Chain, I just blanked out, guys. Whatever, all the new stuff that's coming out. When I start seeing charts and I see how much people are supporting these projects coming out, it's just Hedron. With the stake chart, after Hedron launches, you've seen stakes go up exponentially, and for everybody was doing 5. It's just amazing, because there's an outlet now. People can stake and mint an NFT, and then if something ever happens, where you absolutely need your funds, you don't have to emergency in-stake. You can just sell the NFT on the open market, and that keeps the HEX price steady, because you're not dumping the HEX. All you're doing is transferring the stake through an NFT. And then once that other person gets the NFT, it's not like they can take the well, I guess they could emergency in-stake, but I don't think they would spend that much money on a stake to just sit there and emergency in-stake. So you can come up with anything with the imaginary horribles or what everybody says. You can come up and make a case for anything, but in all, man, I really think Hedron is very good for the ecosystem. And this here is just the number of wallets per USD value. So you can see the majority are greater than 250 or 250 $2,500. And you can see there's very few that have thrown in. Let's see here. I can't even get my mouse to click on it, guys. There's 11 wallets that did more than $500,000. Being the Godwell is one of them. And this is just a breakdown of all the token shares per wallet. And as you get down, the shares get smaller. And you can see here, what you get for sacrificing right now is 7,835 points per USD value, and it ticks up by 5% each day. And you have 15 days left for the sacrifice phase for liquid loans. So if you haven't yet, it's not too late, because you can fix the ratio. Yes, you have lost, it's been going up by 5% for a few days now. But if you do sacrifice and lock your tokens up for a certain amount of months, you can make up for that 5%. Say, you know, say it's went up 10% already. Say it's on day 2 after the bonding curve started going up. All you have to do is lock up for 2 extra months, and you broke even. So it's a kind of a cool strategy what they did, because if you're a late sacrificer, you can also get the same rate if you just delay your gratification just a little bit. All right, another thing I want to look at. Hold on just a second for me, guys. Let me pull something up here. Oh, yeah. Another thing I want to look at is this tweet by Richard Hart. He released he says, have a PulseX.com teaser. And he posted basically the PulseX info and analytics of the PulseX platform. And you can see here that it's functional. There's liquidity. There's volume. There's top tokens on the platform. PulseX, Wrapped Pulse, USD, C, HEX. Guys, if this don't get you excited, I don't know what will. Because the platform is functional. And in the last screenshots that he had, you could see up here in the top corner that it said transactions were going through and working. It was working on the testnet. So this is getting exciting. I hear people keep saying, oh, it's going to be months. It's going to be months. It's going to be months. It very well could be. But and if you want my opinion, I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. I think Richard Hart's just waiting for the right time, which if the markets keep going down, I could see, in my opinion, I hope it does launch in the bottom of the bear market, because then the only way you have to go is, up. And that's where you're going to get the most gains. That's where you're going to get the most opportunity. But guys, that's about all I have for this stream. If you guys have anything that you want to talk about, feel free. I know the HEX conference is going on, which I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait to. I wish I could have went. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. What the hell happened? Okay. God damn it. All right, sorry. Yeah, I really do want to go. I wish I could have made it to the HEX conference. I was going to go, and then I had a work trip. I had a work trip that I had to go out of town last weekend, and it would have just been too much. It would have been too hectic for me. But from some of the streams that I've seen from, I seen Maddie have his stream the other night, talking about what we can expect, and it looks pretty exciting, man. I know I see on Twitter, all the Hexkins are out there now, starting to get together, and it just looks like it's going to be a very good time. It's definitely a proud time to be a Hexican, with everything that's going on, with all the new things about the launch, and I've never been a part of a better community. It's just awesome. You're having a big conference in HEX, the biggest turnout ever at the conference, and I'm sure the online conference is going to be just as awesome. Because even when the online went back last year, it wasn't disappointing. Maddie never disappoints. He takes the stuff serious. Some of the things he talks about in the space, is pretty controversial, but he does really care. He has the best interests at heart, and he does a very good job with the conferences. Because that's a lot. That's a big toll to put on yourself. Planning a conference for over 500, 600 people. That's a heavy burden. That's a very heavy burden. And he's done a great job with that. He's done a great job. You know, I'm sure he'll be relieved when it's finally over, so he can finally just take a big sigh of relief and just enjoy himself. But yeah, I'm super excited for the HEX conference this weekend. They said they're going to stream it in live, and Richard's going to stream in live, I think, on the 4th day, which is pretty exciting. We haven't heard from him in a while, and hopefully that means, he's in the background, working on stuff, getting stuff ready to go. Because everybody's getting antsy, man. The tension's building up, and that rubber band is just pulling and pulling and pulling. And when this thing snaps, I heard Randy Hilarski talking the other day, or was it last night? He was on a stream with Cabana. Yeah, he said, he kind of expects when Pulse Chain to launch to possibly do, a 30, 50 to 100x in the first 30 days. Could you guys imagine? I've only been in crypto a little over a year, so I've never really experienced a 30, 50 to 100x in 30 days. That's insane. That's insane. That's a lot of X in such a little amount of time. This is definitely going to be a life-changing event for people if they can hold and wait for the gains. Guys, I can't stress this enough. If you sell, you're going to miss out, man. You're going to miss out. Yes, you might get a 10, 5, 10, 20x, but that thing is going to rocket. That thing is going to at least 100, 200, 300, 400, 500x. And you do not want to be the person that sold on a 10x and missed an 150x. You just don't want to be, just holding there strong. There's going to be dips when this thing launches. But I kind of agree with Randy Hilarski about, because it's like he said. He said when the sacrifice phase for Pulse Chain first came out, everybody that sacrificed thought Pulse Chain was right around the corner. They thought as soon as the sacrifice phase was over, that Pulse Chain was going to launch, and it wasn't going to basically take this long. And but now that it's been stretched out for over such a long period of time, we're onboarding more people, and as we're onboarding more people, the only way that they can get in now is they have to market buy. Anybody that we bring in from the outside now into Pulse Chain, PulseX, or whatever, they have to market buy the price up. They can't sacrifice anymore. So, and there's so much tension built up around the launch of Pulse Chain. When this thing finally goes live, it's going to be unreal. It's going to be unreal. And if you want my opinion, when PulseX goes live, I think PulseX is going to take a pretty huge dip at first, because you had the sacrificers that missed out on the Pulse Chain launch. They're going to, they sacrificed for PulseX, and they're going to, swap them for Pulse Chain or whatnot. So I think PulseX could have a pretty sizable dip at first. Which I kind of hope it does, so I can buy some more. I mean, it could even possibly, slip below sacrifice price, possibly. And boy, if it does, you best believe I'm gonna be buying the hell out of it. I'm gonna be buying the absolute hell out of it. But I think Pulse Chain is gonna have a big run in the beginning, and it's gonna, and when the hype starts dying down, it's gonna start slowing down, and then that's when PulseX is gonna take off. And I think once we see PulseX take off, once we start seeing that volume and transaction volume coming into the chain, tokens start getting, burnt or whatnot, or, burnt, that we can't have any expectations of. But both projects just have such awesome mechanics that you don't know what to expect really, because it's a fixed supply and it's only deflationary. There'll never be any more. Locking in profit. I bought 1 billion yesterday in Hedron. Yeah, I made a big purchase this morning in Hedron. Uh, well, not a big purchase. I'm still trying to DCA my way in, but yeah, I definitely had to pick up some Hedron because I don't know about you, man, but I really see long-term potential in that project. It might be a while before we start seeing, the chart, bottom out and kind of roll up to the top. It might be a while because of the free claim and all that other jazz. But when this free claim is over and everything like that, this project's going to have long-term potential. If you're a long-term thinker and a long-term crypto holder, this is the kind of projects you need to be DCNA into. But when people are dumping and dumping and dumping or whatever they're doing, that's when you need to get in. This is where the money is made. At prices like this is where the money is made. I had to take advantage of the low gas fees. Yeah, the gas fees have been pretty nice here recently. I've been doing a lot of. I've been buying a lot of. I've been trying to prepare myself for the Pulse Chain launch. Getting my free ERC20 copies. Well, really my HEX copies. I don't really give a shit about any other ERC20s besides Hedron and HEX right now. But yeah, the gas fees have been nice, man. I've been able to do stakes. I've been able to claim my Hedron, my free Hedron, and just doing a Uniswap transaction for like $12 or 12 or 16 bucks, something like that, something around in there. It's just nice, man. I remember back when the transactions were only, $1, $2. But hell, even when I know just a few months ago, those fuckers were like $200 just to do a swap. So that was pretty disgusting. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful for these fees. And it's definitely, when the fees are lower like this, it's definitely easier to have a dollar cost average strategy to do, because you're not wasting $100 on each swap. Yeah, I'm DCA on the HEX trying to double my bag. Yeah, that's the best strategy to have right now, Brian. And a lot of people don't understand it. I don't know if their mind just can't grasp it or not. But I'm glad you get it, because this is definitely, you don't get an opportunity like this, every day. This only comes around very seldomly, very seldomly. It's good. It's just going to be huge, man. And not only do you get a copy of, just you get a copy of your NFTs if you have any. You get a copy of your HEX stakes if you have any. So it's just going to be a big wealth building moment in the space. And it's going to be kind of hectic. I'm kind of excited to see how the other communities react to it. Because it's never been done before. Nobody's ever gotten free airdrops like this of the whole system state. I'm kind of curious to see what other projects do, or what projects do come over, like which ones build a front end for the Pulse Chain network. I've heard of a few that's going to jump on over and try to work on the Pulse Chain. So it's getting exciting, guys. It really is. No kidding. When the Pulse Chain starts, I'm going all in on staking. Yeah, that's the number one strategy right now, man. Number one strategy is, I see a lot of these folks out here saying, oh, when I get my Pulse Chain, or PulseX or whatever you sacrifice for, right? They say, whenever I get my coins that I sacrifice for, I'm going to, if it goes up, I'm going to take a little bit of profits off of here. I'm going to get my initial investment out. And why would you do that? And Jesse from Liquid Loans says it best. Jesse, the pit boss on Twitter. I'm sure y'all know who he is. I forgot what I was about to say, man. I forgot what I was about to say. But anyway, yeah, don't take profits, man. Just stake it, and if you need to, utilize liquid loans. If you got it, if you have to, if you have to sell, liquid loans isn't a bad idea. It isn't a bad idea. But the beautiful part about it is all these coins that are coming out on Pulse Chain so far that have had a sacrifice phase, are you going to be able to stake them? You're going to be able to earn, yield on all the tokens that we've sacrificed for. I don't know if y'all have, but I'm talking for myself here. And it's just beautiful, man. Beautiful. Because in the first coming months and first year of these projects, I'm not touching a damn coin. Put them in staking, lock them up, and just sit there and let these things do what they do. Because that's how you make money in crypto, guys. Hold the damn coins. Don't hit the damn sell button. As soon as you hit that sell button, guess what? You don't get them back unless you buy them back. But then your coin count gets so much smaller than what you started with unless you get lucky enough and it dips. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the headache when all you have to do is get your coins, stake them. If you have to, put a loan out on them, and just use it that way. I'm also going to stake my liquidity loan tokens when I get them immediately. Yeah. I mean, see, man, you got the right idea. Just like your name suggests, lock in profit. Lock in your coins and live off the yield, guys. I can't express that enough to people. You don't want to sell your best appreciating assets. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? And that's what I was going to say. Jesse from Liquid Loans really opened my eyes to that. About when you do start taking profits, you're losing coin count. Coin count is the most important thing to your bag, because that's where the value comes from, is the coin count. Because when you sell your coin count, it's going to take you double the amount to get back what you would have had. Michael Johnson. Thanks for being here, Michael. How do you use liquid loans? In just like the protocol in general, or because liquid loans, I mean, I'm sure it hadn't gone live yet and stuff like that. But so that's where I'm getting confused. So let me see if I can't pull up the website here. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna see if I can't pull up the website. Bear with me. So I can because they have a dashboard kind of uploaded onto their website, and I can kind of try to walk you through it there. Okay. Hold on one second. And he says that's where I'm getting confused. And hold on, Michael. I'm going to answer this guy's question. Or I missed the Pulse Chain sacrifice, so I need to figure out a way to get a nice bag when it launches. Buy HEX right now and maybe trade a little bit of the HEX when it launches. That's my plan. I'm buying extra HEX to try to put in for the Pulse Chain sacrifice, because I didn't make a big enough sacrifice for the Pulse Chain. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not trading my PulseX for Pulse Chain. That's probably the dumbest mistake you can do. But that's my opinion, not financial advice. All right, Michael. Hope you stuck with me, and I'll try to do my best to explain it to you the best I can. And you just let me know in the chat if you have any other questions, and we'll go from there. Well, let me take a sip of water. All right. So, all right. So can you guys see this dashboard here? So what you're going to be able to do is when you get your PLS, your Pulse Chain, when everything goes live. So Pulse Chain is going to go live whenever it launches. And then after about a month of Pulse Chain being live, Liquid Loans is going to launch. They said they're going to wait for about a month after Pulse Chain's live to make sure, everything's going well and Pulse Chain, steadies out and is not so volatile, which it will still be volatile, but not so bad. So what you're going to do is, if you want to use the Liquid Loan protocol, you're going to connect your wallet. You're going to deposit however much PLS you want to deposit. And you can borrow USDL, which is their algorithmic stablecoin for the Liquid Loans protocol. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on here and you're going to open a vault, which is basically depositing PLS to the protocol. And say you want to take a $1,000 loan, right? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to deposit enough PLS as collateral. So if the market starts dipping, you don't get liquidated. So the safe way to do it is, say you want to take a $1,000 loan. You want to get $1,000 of USDL. So what you would do is you would deposit $10,000 worth, or you don't have to deposit $10,000 of PLS, but if you want to be safe to make your collateral like 1,000% collateralized, I would do, like $10,000 worth of PLS for a $1,000 USDL loan. You could do, say, you could only deposit $5,000, but you'll have a smaller gap for liquidation. So basically, what Liquid Loans is you deposit your PLS enough to have a collateral, and you get USDL in return. And another good thing is, while you have these loans, and they're interest free, you don't have to pay any interest on them or anything like that. And another good thing about this protocol is, well, not the protocol, but the way it's designed. Say you put your PulseX or you put your Pulse Chain as collateral, and you have a $1,000 loan. If that Pulse Chain doubles in price, or does a 5x, you don't even ever have to pay back that loan. You can take out more towards your Pulse Chain, your PLS tokens, or you could just pay it back with the gains. It's a very, in my opinion, safe protocol to use. And another thing you could do, you don't even have to take a loan. To use Liquid Loans, you don't even have to get a loan. You can simply supply to the stability pool, or just stake your tokens, stake your loan tokens. If you sacrifice for Liquid Loans, you could just stake your loan tokens and earn your rewards for every time somebody takes a loan. I hope that kind of explains. If you got any more like specific questions, because it's kind of hard to know exactly what you're talking about or what kind of question you have. But if you have any other kind of question that I didn't just cover there, just drop it in the chat, and I'll try my best to if you have something specific, I can kind of go more in detail about it. But that right there is kind of like an overview, a very simplistic overview of how to use it. You're welcome, man. Like I said, I really hope that helped you. I'm not a crypto OG, or I don't claim to be very smart about it, but that's my understanding. And I have had Jesse from Liquid Loans on the channel. You can definitely go to my channel and watch that video. It's the Liquid Loans interview. And he goes over some very good stuff in that interview. I hope that helped you, man. If not, like I said, just post down in the chat, and like I said, I'll try to help you any further that I can. Yep. Yeah, man. Like we were saying earlier, how you missed the Pulse Chain sacrifice. I didn't miss it, but I definitely didn't sacrifice as much as I wanted to. And I didn't really want to So I went pretty heavy into PulseX, but I don't want to. A lot of people, like I said, are gonna swap their PulseX for PLS in the beginning, but I really think that's a bad idea. A really bad idea, because PulseX could probably do some crazy, crazy numbers that I don't think anybody thinks they could, except K4K. K4K kind of knows what he's talking about. But basically, it all boils down to this: the more volume that the platform receives, the more buying pressure that PulseX is going to have. But yeah, I keep getting off topic. But going back to your question, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to accumulate more hex right now, so when Pulse Chain goes live, I can use some of my P hex, my copied over hex, to swap for Pulse Chain, because I'll have a copy of I'll have the E hex on the other side, and that way I can just get more heavily into Pulse Chain. I'll be staking my PulseX. Hell, if we can't get up to Cake or Trader Joe, wait, hell, if we can get up to, yeah, I think we all would be, my man. I think we all would be. Oh man, I'd be balling if we got up to Cake or Trader Joe's size. And it's very possible. There's a lot of things that a lot of things that people don't understand. They don't really understand the kind of numbers that crypto can do if they hadn't been in crypto for at least more than a year. Like I said, I hadn't really been involved with 100x or anything like that, but I've definitely seen them, and I've definitely seen how it happens, and it's very, very sudden, and it's quick. It don't happen over a long period of time. When them things run, those things run very, very fast, and then it gets real stagnant, and then it runs really, really fast. So you got to have your bags packed, and you got to be in there when it takes off, because if it's not, you're going to be left chasing the pumps, and it's going to be too late. You're going to miss it on the gains, and possibly just get straight, dumped on. I missed the Pulse Chain sacrifice also, but I sacrificed for PulseX and liquid loans. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, guess what? I got something to tell you. You're early. You're very early. What you've done here with the sacrificing, very good decision, because these protocols are going to be the future, man, and you could definitely see some pretty big number gains off of these projects. I mean, just think about it. Over $1 billion was sacrificed for PulseX. Liquid loans, there's almost $50 million sacrificed for liquid loans. These projects and the mechanics behind these projects, PulseX, buy and burn, you can yield farm and all this other stuff. Liquid loans, with their sacrifice, you can lock up tokens for months and get rewards. You can stake your tokens. You can take out loans with no interest. It's most projects, like on Ethereum, they're all out to get people. They're all out to squeeze as much money out of people as they can. And it feels like this ecosystem cares about the user. They want the user, they want it to be, for one, user friendly. The UIs are very clean, very slick. But they don't really want to take anything from the user, because they look at themselves as a part of the community as well. A big thing about the Pulse Chain ecosystem, there is going to be some shit. There's going to be some scams. There's going to be some ugly things that happen. But a lot of the projects that are building on Pulse Chain, or at least so far, they're hexagons. They're diamond-handed hexagons that all they want to do is just make the community a better place. And they don't want to take from the community. They don't want to charge fees from the community. I mean, of course, platforms do have to charge some kind of fee to keep the platform running, for server cost and just things like that. But you can look over on Ethereum. There's platforms that charge every time you transfer a token, you have to pay a tax, which is garbage. Straight garbage. So in my mind, man, it's just an awesome community, and it's awesome what everybody's doing and building. And I'm just glad to be here, and we're early, man. I'm glad you're here, Michael. We can ride this wave together, man. PulseX is easy. 100x plus. 100%. 100%. There's not a doubt in my mind within I'm gonna spit out an estimate here. I'd say either 1 year or a little after a year and a half. 1 year to a year and a half, PulseX could achieve 100x or more. Now, Pulse Chain, I think Pulse Chain will do 1 to 200x in the first year. In my opinion, it could do, dude. It has the possibility to do way more than that. It has the possibility to do way more than that. Way more. You know, a lot of people don't like how it just goes back to what I was saying. A lot of people don't even understand how much it can do. Let's take a peek at the hex price right now. And if there's any coins that you guys want to look at in the chat, feel free. I'm not a maxi here. I'll look at any coins you guys want to look at. You guys are my community. We're a community. I'll look at whatever you guys want. So just feel free to drop it in the chat, and I will take a look at it. But like I was saying at the beginning of this video, you can kind of see on this chart, we're in a falling wedge, and it's kind of held at support pretty well. And if you zoom in down here, you can see how perfectly it kissed off that trend line both times. And what I said earlier is if we do kind of start pumping back up here, we're going to have some pretty good resistance at about 12 cents, because that was pretty heavy support for the past few months, hell, even year almost. So expect some pretty good resistance there. But like I was saying earlier, guys, these falling wedges tend to break to the upside more times than not. And I took a measured move of it, and the measured move is about 26 cents, which would be hella nice. But we definitely have, some resistances, pretty key resistances we'd have to get through to get there. And one of them being 12 cents, another one, 13, and then another pretty big one at about 22 cents. So, we definitely have to put in some work, but it's definitely possible. And if we do drop below this bottom trend line of the wedge here, we could see a 7.5 cent hex. And if it does go down to 7.5 cents, then that will fulfill an 85% correction from the top. And what do we see in crypto most of the time in a bear market? An 85% correction. So just always remember that this 7.5 cent range is in play. Hell, it could even go any lower. It could go even lower. Just keep that in mind. Anything's possible. But what the charts are telling me right now is, if we can hold this fallen wedge line right here, which we have so far, we might see a little pump to the upside here coming up soon. I think Hex going to reach $2 within 36 months. That's a good, it's possible. It's very possible. Very possible. I could definitely see that. And, right now, with it being it's almost at 10 cents. Right now, if it just goes back to all-time highs, man, that's a 5x. Think about that. That's a 5x from, well, it's a little under 5x because we're technically at 11 cents. But that's still a lot of gains, guys. I mean, 5x ain't nothing to shake a stick at. 5x can put you some money in your pocket, and you could be throwing that into Pulse Chain and PulseX, or whatever you're happy with when it goes live. Just remember these things. But like I said, they can always go lower. They can always go lower, but they can also always go higher, and they will eventually go higher. You just got to have your bags packed for when that thing does take off, because when it takes off, it's not going to wait for you to go into Uniswap, hit the buy button, transfer ETH to your wallet to hit the buy button. It's not going to wait on you. It's fucking going to go. Because as soon as them whales start hitting them buy buttons and start shooting that price up, there's you better be on the train. You better be on it. Hold on just a second, guys. All right. Just have to wait on Pulse launch. Hex will begin its viral journey then. Yeah, man. I love seeing comments like this. It just keeps reminding me of how early we are. You know, yes, Hex has done a big number in X's, right? Yes, it has. But guys, it's only been out 2 years. You know, it's only been out 2 years, and you know the CD, the certificate of deposit market, is trillions of dollars in the financial, old financial world. Trillions. And it's just exciting, man. As soon as, because it's like you just said, Tim Norman. Glad you're here, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. You know, it's not even viral yet. And look what's going on this weekend. You know, you got all the hex. Well, for one, you got the Xfinity race in Las Vegas this weekend with the hex car racing. Then you're going to have the hex car racing in Talladega. You got over 600 hexagons in Las Vegas this weekend, coming together to celebrate what Hex has done for them and for the community. And not only mention all the onboarding that's going to go on this weekend. Guys, we got a terrific community. If y'all are a part of this community, this community is like nothing I've ever seen before. You know, you got people out there pumping our bags for free. And just that love and enjoy doing it. And it's an awesome thing. And like you said, we will, when we do start our viral journey, there's not going to be holding back, guys. Make sure your bags are packed. Make sure you're on the bus when Hex goes viral. Please don't miss that opportunity. And don't miss the opportunity of getting your free Hex copy on PulseChain either, because it's coming. It's coming. And just imagine the onboarding that you're going to be able to do when PulseChain goes live, and you can, your little ETH maxis. I know y'all know some ETH maxis out there on Twitter or somewhere in the crypto space. Y'all know those ETH maxis. Send them ETH maxis a DM or put it on Twitter. Hey, guys, change the setting in MetaMask real quick, to the Pulse chain. You got free coins over there, Can you just imagine? I mean, they're going to have exposure to Pulse chain whether they want it or not. Whether they want it or not, they're going to have exposure. And so they're going to have to come over to our ecosystem. They're going to have to do some transactions on Pulse chain. They're going to have to do some transactions on PulseX. And hopefully when they come over here to do those transactions, we want a good, well-rounded community to where they're like, oh, shit, this place is nice. This place fucking rocks, man. I'm not leaving. We want them to stay over here. And I think it's going to happen, guys. I really think it's going to happen. Because you're going to have everything that Ethereum has, but with proof of stake, way cheaper fees, better for the environment, and just an all-around better community. Just a better community. Tell me anybody in the Ethereum community or any of these layer 1 communities that are doing a quarter of the things that the Hex community is doing for the world. Don't worry, I'll wait, because you ain't going to tell me none. MJB, if I don't have any Pulse and I want to swap PLS for Pulse at launch prior to bridge, how can I if I have no PLS to pay the gas speed? Well, guess what, man? I have a awesome answer for you. Here, I'm going to share my screen here for you, and I will show you exactly what you can do to hold on one second. All right. You see this page right here, MJB? Freepulse.io. And this is on the test net right now. You can come over here, connect your, and it's completely safe. The guys that developed this, and you can even sign on here with a brand new MetaMask. Your MetaMask don't have to have anything in it. It can have zero balance. You can come on here and you can get free Pulse when Pulse goes live. You can even come on here right now and do it, but it's testnet Pulse. And it's developed by the same guys that made the Pulse Chain logo. They developed some of the PulseX sacrifice website. They developed the PulseX website. Victor, I don't know if y'all have heard of him, but he's one of Richard Hart's developers. Him and Felix have made this website here. And so when Pulse Chain goes live, this is the ultimate. I have a video on my YouTube about it as well. But this is the ultimate onboarding tool, because what you're going to be able to do, if you don't like connecting your MetaMask to wallets, then go out, create you a whole new MetaMask, whole new seed words and everything. Come on this website and just claim your free Pulse. It's lottery style, so you'll pick a number between 1 and 10,000, and whatever number you pick, you get that award in Pulse. And you can also, there's some gambling games on here. I'm not going to connect right now because I'm not really set up to. But you connect your wallet right here, and you claim a number, and you just get free Pulse. And you can come on here and claim hourly. So, you can come on here and gamble. I wouldn't suggest you do that. They have gambling games, roulette, and stuff like that you can, potentially win a lot more Pulse. But you can see right here, claim up to $200 of free Pulse every hour. Most time, that's like the $200 here is like the grand prize. But you can come on here every hour and try to get $200 of free Pulse. But if you don't have any Pulse when the Pulse Chain launches, come over here to this website and get your free Pulse, and that way you can go over to the Pulse Chain and start transacting. I hope that helped you. That was a big tool to me. I'm glad other people showed me this, so this is pretty awesome. Hope that answered your question, MJB. I agree with Tim. Pulse launch is going to change the game forever. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Cheap fees. We can actually use the protocol the way it's supposed to be used. Staking the PLS, delegating it to people. Let me see. MJB. Will I have access to that at launch, but prior to the bridge? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm pretty sure that as soon as Pulse Chain launches, that website will launch. I don't think the bridge matters too much about the freepulse.io. So I'm pretty sure that the free Pulse will be live as soon as Pulse Chain goes live. So you should have access to the freepulse.io prior to the bridge. Million. Hedron is going to melt faces. Once you understand what Alex created, it all makes sense. It's a heck, dude. Yeah, that's what I try to get the people to understand. Hold on. You're welcome, MJB. You're welcome. This is what I try to get people to understand, that it complements Hex in such perfect ways, man. It keeps, because if people do need the emergency end stake, they don't have to. They can mint the NFTs, and they can sell the NFTs to somebody else to get the cash or crypto, whatever, And that means they're not emergency end staking, and they're not dumping Hex on the open market. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And, people can take out loans, which I suggest if you do, you be very careful doing. But you can take out, you can loan Hedron against your Hex stakes. And, And they got another mechanism that if somebody's stakes do get liquidated, then they will have uh, an auction house. So if you get liquidated, your stakes are going to go to an auction house, and people can bid. They'll have a bidding war on whoever wants those stakes, and whoever wins the auction, they have to pay in Hedron, and then therefore that Hedron that they used to pay for is going to get burned. So it's just brilliant. A Hedron is definitely a very good investment long term. I know, it's probably not going to do very well, in the next couple of months with all the free claiming and stuff like that. But it's definitely, if you have that long-term mindset and long-term view, it's definitely going to be a very good project. Like I said, I'm DCAing into Hedron right now. I'm also doing my free claim, and it's something I'm just going to be stacking and stacking and stacking, for a while. Let's see. Go back to the hex price. By the way, let's check out the Hedron price here. See what it's looking like. It's still in the same spot. Hadn't moved much. But like I was saying earlier, you can see that these two red marks here. If Hedron does decide to dump and go into these two red boxes, this is a very heavy accumulation range for me. If it dips anywhere in these red boxes, I'm definitely scooping. It's just a good opportunity. It's a good buying opportunity now. I mean, of course, it could go down lower, but it could not. It could just go. It could go up. You never know. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Hex, PulseX, Pulse Chain, Liquid Loans, and now Hedron. I mean, what could we ask for, guys? They're building. It's going to be everything that we need on Pulse Chain. They're going to have everything we need on Pulse Chain. I'm just so grateful to be here. We're early, guys. We're early. I'm just so grateful to be able to be a part of it. Most people in crypto, the VCs have came in and took over and just dump on people's heads. When has it been that, we're actually day one investors on a project? A lot of people can't say that. And it's definitely a good feeling because, guys, it's opportunity. Opportunity is here. You don't get this opportunity very often at all. Million, exactly. Yes, sir, exactly. Chris Jackson. The rest of the world is sleeping on this. We're basically Google, Apple, and Amazon before mainstream even knew what they were. I like that comment, man. That's a great comment. Because it's true. It's true. What back in the 2000s, Amazon dropped 95%. People were fudding it and all that. Oh, it's not going to be nothing in e-commerce, nothing. And now it's all of e-commerce, right? So it's just a tipping point of when virality actually comes. It's the tipping point. Because it is coming. It's just a matter of when is it coming? Because it's inevitable. It is inevitable. What will a fair ratio be for PLSX at the beginning? I know, tough prediction, but thoughts. If you want my honest opinion, man, I wouldn't do anything less than 1-to-1. If it ain't 1-to-1, I wouldn't do it. And it's like I was saying earlier in this video, what I'm doing, I don't want to get rid of none of my PulseX. What I'm doing is just accumulating the hell out of HEX right now, so I can kind of use my free copy on the PHEX side to trade for Pulse Chain when it goes live. That's kind of my plan because, PulseX and Pulse Chain, I don't really want to get rid of none of that in the beginning. But if I had to, a 1-to-1 ratio or, a 1-for-2 ratio, that's pushing it. It just depends on how much you value PulseX or Pulse Chain, I think PulseX might do a little. It's hard to say, guys. It's hard to say because both projects are freaking awesome. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. But I'm definitely going to be trading some hex for PLS in the beginning for sure. But my thoughts are, though, man, if you absolutely would had to 1-for-1 or 2-for-1. Understood. Thanks. Finally, what's fair swap at the beginning for? This is something. This is a very. I don't really know yet. I haven't quite figured that one out. And I don't want to, share something wrong with you. But honestly, what I'm doing, I don't plan on doing anything pre-bridge. I'm gonna wait before until the bridge is open. I'm not gonna take any action pre-bridge because you can really get fucking wrecked that way. I'm not saying some people are gonna do it. I'm not saying you're gonna get wrecked. I'm not saying about that by any means. But if you are gonna trade pre-bridge, just you gotta know what you're doing because people can really get screwed that way. But I don't plan on swapping any of my hex for PLS pre-bridge. I kind of want to get an idea of what the value of the P hex is going to be before I do any, kind of swapping, because you can't really have a ratio or a fair swap between hex and PLS right now because you don't know the value of the P hex on the pulse chain yet. Which I know over time they're probably going to be the same, but who knows? This stuff hasn't been done before, and it's exciting. That's why when it does launch, I'm just going to kind of sit back for a little bit and feel everything out. But just be careful. There's good trades to be had pre-bridge, and there's bad trades to be had pre-bridge. So just make sure you understand it before hitting that swap button for sure. Off topic, or Chris Jackson, off topic, but have what are your thoughts on the emerging crypto gaming ecosystem that is about to boom? It's exciting. It's kind of exciting. I was never really a big gamer. Well, I did play RuneScape a lot when I was growing up and stuff. But there's some cool stuff coming out in the gaming space with this crypto gaming stuff. Because you got like your metaverse gaming, and then you got your play to earns. The play to earns are the really cool things that's catching my eyes about it. I really like Gala Games. They got some pretty cool stuff over there, guys. And like I said in the beginning, guys, I'm not a maxi. I'm in crypto to learn. I'm in crypto to enjoy myself. I'm in crypto to meet cool people. But yeah, the gaming, it's going to really take off. Near the end of this bull cycle, there was some really inflated evaluations in the gaming sector of crypto, and I really think they could drop pretty hard. And I'm definitely going to probably be scooping some of them. And the thing about games, though, man, they're really easy to scam people with because people can build some really cool digital gameplay slides and stuff like that. So if you know games, it's not that you're not going to get fooled because you know what a real game looks like. But there's a lot of people out there trying to pop up projects and FUD people. But yeah, the crypto gaming ecosystem definitely has a lot of potential, especially the play to earn. Million, not selling any PulseX, DCA in the Pulse chain. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I mean. It sounds like me and you are on the same page. Smart man, smart man. MJB, thanks for the input. Yes, sir. Glad to do it, man. That's what I like doing this. I like getting on here and, throwing ideas back and forth because you never know what you might hear. And, that's what this is all about, is just building the best game theory that we can, to do the best we can, and what's so crazy, guys, is a lot of the other projects and stuff in crypto, you know, everybody's so toxic to each other. They're like, they want each other to lose. It's so weird. Like, I've never seen so many people against each other and wanting each other to lose money so bad. It's so crazy, and then that's kind of why, well, that's one big reason why I transferred over to this well, not transferred, but started, really clinging to the Richard Hart ecosystem. Because when I seen the community and I seen how passionate and real, and they were just out to help each other. They were they were out to reach out to the new folks and actually help them and actually want them to do well. Um, it definitely threw my mind for a loop because that's definitely something I wasn't used to. Because when I first got into crypto, the route I took, it was every man fend for themselves. Everybody's out to get each other. They're trying to, oh, your project's a piece of shit. Oh, your project ain't worth a damn. Oh, your NFT stupid. Oh, your NFT stupid. It's just crazy, man. Like, why couldn't people just, like, why can't you just want everybody to win? Be on the same page. Crypto is meant to be self-sovereign and to be free from all the shit that the government has put us through. So it's just crazy. It's a very unique space, especially if you're not used to it. So I understand why a lot of people get weaned out when they see either their first dip or when they see, some of the community just threatening people, and it's just wild. It's wild. Hold on one second, fellas. All right. All right, I'm back. Is there anything you guys want to talk about in the chat? Coming up on an hour and a half here. There's anything y'all want to talk about in particular, drop it down in the chat and we'll go over it. It could be coin project. No poo coins, please. I'll look up anything. I can pull up CoinGecko or anything that y'all want to look at. Let's see. MLB says, yeah. Trying to see. There's something else I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, I appreciate all you guys are here. I'm thinking about doing a live stream like this once a week and make it consistent every week. Just to, maybe like do the week in review, do a recap. Hold on. Hex crystal meth reference free pulse. It says not redeemable for pulse. Yes, because it is in the testnet phase and it's only redeemable for testnet pulse. You can't get pulse right now when it's on the testnet and pulse isn't live. So that's why it's saying that right now. But other than that, once Pulse Chain goes live, it will definitely be redeemable for Pulse. Do you ever search maturing hex stakes come due and then flood the market? Yeah, well, what I do is I'll watch the Sunday Staker show with Gerardo and the Staker app guys. And they kind of go into that when the hex stakes are going to be coming out. I can't remember the website. If you happen to know the website, drop it in the chat and I'll pull it up real quick. Because it is interesting to see. And I know here coming up soon, there's some pretty big stakes ending. I think like maybe over 1 billion hex is getting unlocked. I could be wrong about that. But if you have that website, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Drop it down in the chat and I'll pull it up and we can look at it. But what I was saying is I'm thinking about doing this kind of live stream every week. If you guys enjoy it, I know I enjoy getting in and talking with the community, and I just really enjoy doing it. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, hit the like button below and let me know that you guys would like to see more of these, and just leave some comments. Let's see. Go through the chat here. Okay. Let me pull up the... Oh, hold on. MJB said, not sure of website, but heard 6 too big. Yeah, that's exactly the one I was thinking about. I think there's over like 1 billion hex that's getting unlocked. God, I know the website. I just can't think of it. I wish I knew the name of it because that's really interesting to look up. If you guys give me a second, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Don't y'all go anywhere. Let me pull this up. I'm trying to find. I'll find it here in just a second. No. Right here. What is that? God dang it. When I hit could y'all hear something in the chat? No. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Let me. Daggone it. Elastic. All right. Okay, I found it. I found it, guys. I found it. Let me do this. Go over here. It's Hex Vision. Hex.vision is what it is. Analytics, dashboard. Whoops. Overview. Well, or maybe this isn't it. I can't get it to work, then y'all guys. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can y'all guys see that okay? Is that showing up for y'all? Okay. So we pull this up here. Staking. So you can see 61 billion hex is staked, and this is the chart we were talking about. Oh, that was 22. So let's see. We are. Wait a second. When is that? March 29th? Is that what that is? There's like 3 billion hex coming off the market. So that's a pretty big number there. Pretty big number. But really, so March the 29th is the next big one, and it's like 3.39 billion hex that are coming off the market. And then you can see it really slows down. It slows down a lot. And then even to over here, but that's, that's in 3032 and stuff like that. So yeah, it's, hold on, I can do this. So this is this week. I wonder, show dates. Next 365 days. Oops. We're gonna do the next year. See what it looks like. So this is the whole this year coming up. So the biggest one, yeah, this is what I was talking about. There's 1.59 billion hex getting unstaked at the end of this month. And then there's another 1 billion getting unstaked in May. And then it kind of trends down. So really that's the only big time that's coming out. So it should start, once those get by, man, it should really start slowing down, and it should really start slowing down, and we, the sell pressure will definitely. Well, a lot of times, guys, a lot of these guys that that in stake, a lot of them just restake. There's some of them that don't, but the majority of them just restake it right all back, or sell some of the interest or the yield, and then they just restake it. So, so can we conclude price drop on, like I was just saying, it just depends. It depends on who it is that the stake is ending. Sometimes, with a stake that big, they'll just sell some of the yield and restake the rest. And a lot of times, if they're pretty big whales like that, they don't really want to hurt the price or anything like that. So they'll, do their whalish games to not have to dump the price. But yes, I mean, it could dump a little bit. It could not. They could just restake it all. You never know. You never know. But it is a cool website to look at. I'm glad I remember the name of it now. It's pretty neat. But yeah, just because there's stakes ending, like I said, don't necessarily mean the price is going to drop. I mean, there's a higher percentage that it could, but don't really necessarily mean that it will. Thanks for your input. See you next Saturday morning. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot. And like I said, I am going to try to do these either every Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to try to do them every Saturday. It will be on the weekends. And then, as we get longer into this, I'm going to try to pick out a specific day. But right now, I can't really nail down the exact day. It'll either be Saturday or Sunday. And we'll just go from there. I just want to get a nice little core community started. And I love doing it. So I appreciate you coming by, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you next time. But that about wraps everything up, guys, unless y'all got anything else in the chat. I will keep going if you guys have anything to talk about. I wish I had somebody I could invite on here and we could stream together. Francia Hexakin 555, Richard Hart Lover, hello. Hello to you. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, if I had some people to invite on, I would, and we could keep this thing going. But I don't really know. Most of the people right now are in Las Vegas at the HEX conference, having a damn good old time. I'm jealous. But yeah, if you guys got anything you want to go over, you can drop it in chat. And like I said, I'll go over it before I jump off of here. Or if any of you guys want to join, hop on the stream. I'll share a link to you, and you can do that as well. As long as you don't, share some crazy stuff. But yeah, I can do that as well if y'all want to do that. It's up to you. Or, if you have any questions, coins you want to look at, projects you want to look at, I'll do that too. I'll stay on here for another about 5 more minutes, and then I'll wrap it on up. But while I'm waiting to see if you guys got anything, we'll go down here to the charts and take a look at the HEX price, see what it's doing. Yeah. See, it's so indecisive right now. It's just very indecisive and can't make up. It just keeps rolling on over, guys. I really think we could see a possibly a 7.5 cent hex. I hope it can hold against this support, which it has for a pretty good while now, and it's a pretty good support. If we do break up out of the falling wedge, you could see a target of about 26 cents if that happens, but really expect some resistance on the way up. But like I said, I thought this green support right here was going to hold because it has held, even all the way back before or right after the pulse chain launch or sacrifice. So that's some pretty key support that it broke through. So if it does try to turn around and go up, it's going to find some resistance there. But if it dips below and comes down to this 7.5 cent range, it's a beautiful buying opportunity. It's definitely worth it. Definitely, because like I said, you will get a copy of all this on Pulse Chain. And like I said, my strategy is to swap some of the HEX for Pulse Chain when it does go live. I'm not going to be selling any of my PLSX. I'm going to cherish that like a little baby. But and then let's see what Bitcoin's doing here. Bitcoin ain't doing much, doing the same old thing. It's got some pretty heavy resistance at about, it's got to get over that 55.5 mark to really do anything. Yeah, the markets are just rough right now, guys. Like I said in the beginning, I think this is a bear market, 100%. Because we'll see little bounce relief rallies and then it just falls straight back down. Goes up, falls straight back down. The market's just not healthy. And when the market's not healthy, it's just going to go in a range or either go down. See, I mean, ETH almost looks identical on the daily right here. Goes up, fails, comes back down, goes up, fails, goes back down, lower high. You know, you do have a higher high or a higher low right here, but you have a lower high, swing high right here, and then you definitely have a lower swing high here. So, the markets are just struggling. Don't get discouraged. Stop looking at the screen. Go out, breathe some air. Uh, you know, build some stuff. Pulse chain will be here before we know it, guys. Pulse chain will be here before we know it, and then we're all gonna have big old beautiful bags of PulseX, and whatever else coins you hold. But guys, that's about all I got for this episode. I really appreciate you guys coming by. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing an episode every weekend. Not sure yet whether it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday, but it will be one of the two. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this out to somebody. I really appreciate if y'all do that. But until next time, if y'all have any questions after this, jump over to the Telegram channel, t.me/Heinz Crypto 1. And I will post that right here for you. It's t.me/Heinz Crypto 1. Come over there, hang out, ask questions. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And that's all I got for this show, guys. Peace.